Okay, good evening, everyone. It is April 15th, tax day. I'm back with another live with JM DeSantis. Okay, so I'm going to have another faceless, hang on a second, just trying to get a couple things together. Going to have a faceless stream today because I'm still working on this new piece here. All right. Most of it all is drawn in. I might be going in with some pencil, but mostly I've been working on the thinking portion down here. All right. So, um, that's most of what you're going to see today. No face today. Doesn't mean I won't be answering comments. Of course I will. So please, yes, share my referral link. I don't even know what that is. Why does it want a referral link? Sorry. Anyway, everyone, let me get out of that. Yeah. Okay, good. We're done. Oh, whoops. Great. Okay, well, yeah, so I'm going to be working on the inks here. Hopefully, Cirilla won't come up and charge us too much. And hopefully, the background noise isn't too bad either because I've got the windows open. It's just a nice, cool night. And it was a little humid today, so I'm happy to have. Oh, here she is. Here she is. Hey, Cirilla. Welcome to the stream. Hello, lady. Yeah. So anyway, while I'm working on this, Trenton punk rock this past weekend was really good. Well, now they're New Jersey punk rock. I got to remember to use the new name. They changed it out. So yeah, it was a good show. Had a lot of fun. Saw a lot of good people. And then also made some good sales. Like it was just a productive and what do you call it? Successful weekend all around. This cat's not going to let me do any of this. Girl, I got to work. I know. Let's see your face. Everyone likes to see your face. Hey. Hey, Real. Hello. Yeah, Sorella's great. Oh, so anyway, yeah. And then I have a small one day today. She's just not going to let me paint because she wants to go exactly where my hand is. Lady, you gotta let me work though. Yeah, I got a small one day show, Knox Vitae, at the Francisco County, Francisco Family Farm, Matawan, New Jersey this weekend. And then next weekend, I'm in Jackson, New Jersey for Super Jersey Comic Fest. First comic show, I think. No, second comic show of the year. I'm doing less of them. I just find they're not as favorable to me and my work, including the comic work. So, that's a thing. I'm not sure what it means, but I just know what works for me does not necessarily work for everyone else. Anyway, so yeah, lots happening here. I'm using Higgins black ink, by the way. It probably won't. A lot of this ink will get covered up in the end, but it's good to get the base down because there's heavy shadows in this front part. I wasn't sure if I was going to go as heavily with the shadows, but as I was starting to put it together, I decided to switch that part of it. And then, of course, I was going to do it all in reds and purples, but I'm starting to have some second thoughts about the very, very back part be reds. I don't know. I might want Chadiana to jump off better. And I might go with a blue. I don't know. The front part will be definitely in purples, though. Purples and black. I'll throw a little bit of color into things, but generally it's going to be very monochromatic. And the idea was to have the background be monochromatic too, just very sharp, dark contrasts, medium, and pretty just like normal set of contrast and colors in the Chadiana section, and then everything around her be another, just mostly being like lighter reds with less contrast. Part of the reason for the reds are I just want something that's going to pull people to the table. This is for my banner. And I guess what'll also be my new the new image for my my bookmarks as well. But yeah, I just want to grab more eyes on the stuff on the table. So red was the reason I was going to go. Red, that was the reason I was going to go for red dominantly. I can't always tell. I can't see it here. That's okay. Starting to wonder if I should always just switch to a no face on camera for these. It's just a lot easier than setting up the two cameras. I could always start the shows with both um, with the camera on my face, but then switch over. It's just it does seem a little bit more it's a little easier to do it this way. I understand though, for live streams, a lot of times you want to see both the person and whatever it is they're doing. I'm thinking in terms of like gaming streams, and it's an art stream, it's different, but still, you know. Funny too, I was on Whatnot last week because I always do it the day after the YouTube, and somebody else mentioned how I should really do some ASMR videos. And yes, I should. I had said how I was supposed to have an intro animation done by someone a while ago, and that's been holding back me putting any other videos up on my YouTube. But it's not like I couldn't get a intro animation together myself and start getting it done. So I don't know. It's possible that I will do that in the semi near future finally, because eh, it's not like it's getting done by waiting for this to finally come through. Anyway, I know it's always ominous, but the idea was to put my logo and the Darkfire Press logo on these gravestones. I mean, it's always ominous that I use gravestones to like put my signature on and such, but I just think it's a really cool way to do it. You don't have to agree, but I do. But there's a lot going on with the shadows on this end again. I mean, I always seem to be a little scattered when it comes to putting together the shadows on things. Not when it's people, but although that can happen, it especially happens with terrain and water, you know. But I really want the sharper. The thing is, I want this front part to recede. Really, what I want to stand out the most is Chadiana and the stuff behind her. This front part, actually, because it'll be low and a lot of times hidden behind the table. I don't need this to stand out as much. And it can offer a nice, subtler set of colors and shapes, really, for the eye to pick up on. Doesn't need to be the thing that grabs people's attention. At the very top, of course, above Chadiana and above that moon there. I'm trying not to show my whole apartment. That's where my name and title and everything will go up. The whole rightist business and everything. I might limit the amount of text up there just because I don't want it to become so bogged down with too much going on. I want it to be readable. I want it to be readable and recognizable, and so people know exactly whose table it is, be able to figure that out quick. I often have people, whenever I've had a banner, not know what my name is, even though it's right there at the top. So I might have to make the name even a little bit bigger yet than I've used in the past, but that will be what it will be. I keep telling people, not the ideal, but I feel like I got to let the ego take over at these shows, just to get people to see my stuff. Uh, So yeah, people in and out. Always free to comment while I work. I am happy to answer questions. Not everybody does that though. Lately, the chat's been pretty quiet past couple of weeks, which is okay. I'd be using my Pentel brush pen, but honestly, like it would just take forever using this dip paintbrush. What is this? Eight. Eight's still my favorite number as far as brushes go. That's not going to focus very well, is it? But eight's my favorite. It just seems to have the ability to get to a nice point if you're keeping the brush in good condition, and also get a nice flow when you need it to put down some thicker lines. So I like 8. Occasionally I'll use a 10. Sometimes I'll use a 5 or a 6. I don't usually go too much smaller than that. Unless for some reason, I'm really feeling underconfident on a particular day and I need a thin line, then I'll go for something thinner. Hey, Jack. Why can't I get to that comment though? Oh man. I don't need to share my referral link. I need to see Jack's comment. Oh my god. I don't know why it's giving me trouble with these. Where's Jack's comment? That wasn't supposed to go through. What the heck? I can't get the comments up. Oh man. I don't know why that referral link came up. And I can't see the comments. I might have to I might have to get the laptop going anyway. Just can't see the comments over here. Oh, damn. All right. Hang on a moment. I can see that you commented, Jack. I just can't seem to see it on my phone right now. So I'm gonna get my laptop booting up right now so I can read the comments on that, because Jesus. I thought using one screen was gonna work. It apparently is not. That damn referral link thing. It won't even go away after I already aired it out too. All right. Crazy. I'm so curious. Jack could be telling me to go F myself right now and I wouldn't even know. Joking, I don't really think you are. Steam, StreamYard. StreamYard. Trying to get there. All right. Gotta make sure this is all not. I gotta make sure my what is that? Okay. Mute. Stop the cam. I just need to see comments. That's what I need. Enter the studio. Comments. Here we go. Any shows this weekend? Hi, Jeff. Are you live only here? No, actually. Okay, so Jack, I'm also live on YouTube. Which, just look up JM DeSantis. I think it's at JM DeSantis for YouTube, right? That's where I'm going to have to, in the future, I'm going to have to switch over to this exclusively, only because StreamYard is, well, they already did raise their prices. You can see now my laptop's coming into the camera. I'll just move it over here. StreamYard raised their prices. I had paid a year in advance on the whole subscription, so I'm not going to be paying what they're asking for for it anymore. And I think it expires in either June or July, so it'll all be on YouTube. So anybody that sees this on Facebook, go subscribe to my YouTube, because in a couple of months you won't be seeing me on a Facebook Live anymore. But Jack, I also do Whatnot on Wednesday nights, and at some point I have to get a life back and stop doing so much of it. What are they asking for? It was originally, I think, $12 a month. I thought, if I recall, it like more than doubled. I'm going back to your comment, Rob. Yeah, I'm going to be at the Francisco Family Farm in Matawan, New Jersey on Saturday. It's too bad you and Lauren didn't come out to New Jersey Punk Rock. That was a great show. But yeah, it's just from 1 to 9 on Saturday, and then I'll be in what is that, Jackson Township the following week for the Super New Jersey Comic-Con. Let's see. What do we got? Definitely gonna find my YouTube. Again, I guess I could put the link in. Just see this, but I'll just post it too. Hang on. Again, Facebook. Or, oh wow, it's still up there. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad some people made it out today. I guess Jack moved over. I'm gonna assume that's what happened. Oh, yeah. So on Whatnot, I go from 6 to 10 times 9 Eastern, obviously, on Wednesdays. And on Whatnot, On Whatnot, you just look up that username. The same username I use on Instagram, JMD Rightist. And you can follow me, I'll follow you back. Then you'll also hopefully get a notification when I go live. But you can go into my shows and just save it. You don't have to stay the whole time, but you can kind of see how I got it set up. So if you want to try my method. So I do a little bit of both. I do live drawings, but while I'm live drawing, I take commissions, and it's all like in the bin of my Whatnot show. People can also buy things out of there or request an auction on stuff. I used to do a show where I would just keep putting up items to sell, and I just found like the income and also the retention on people staying in the show is much, much lower. When I switched to live drawing on Whatnot, people stay longer. And I find more people are willing to even purchase things. I don't know. It seems like for an artist doing the constant pitches and constant auctions just does not seem to work as well, or at least for me, it doesn't. But then again, I don't know. Maybe personality wise, I'm not suited for just constantly selling things. I just think the more laid back approach and me having something to do while I'm on a show is much better because I get bored easily. I don't have something that I can do. So I always need to be engaged in some way. Yeah, I do. I probably have less of a social battery than you do, but I do like my alone time, and I can be very much a homebot. I mean, all the things I like to do, right? It's like besides doing artwork, I like to read and play video games. I like practicing martial arts too, but less and less I like doing that with people. So, you know, and these like I'm not going to a school or anything for it. I'm just doing it at home, so it is solo. So yeah, like I get it. I got a lot of alone time. My social time is shows and these live streams. Although again, like I really need to get out of the apartment a little bit more for things other than shows. It's crazy. I know. But you get out. I see your gym posts all the time. I haven't joined the gym in a long time, but I was more again into martial arts, so that's where I went to work out. I have had gym memberships. I mean, that's always an option too. I've considered it. But paying all that money when I could just do it at home, get it. Tai Chi with Cirilla. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I don't know that she'll take to it. I don't know that she's the type. You're not wrong. I work 7 days a week, so unfortunately, video games reading has taken a backseat. It has for me too. I've been trying to make some time for it again. I've been reading in the mornings before I start my day, which I've always liked doing as part of my routine for as long as I can remember. And then, I'm trying some nights to play a game or something because yeah, I'm working 7 days a week as well. I'm doing shows on the weekends and I'm in the studio every day. So I have to I have to make a little bit of an adjustment on that though, because it's just I don't think it's sustainable. And some days I'm feeling it. And some days I wind up taking a day off. I mean, some weeks I wind up just taking a day off because I need it. But Rob, who's on here, who's one of my fans, is always recommending books to me, and this is why I can never get them read. It's because I just work so much. But I do, again, I read every morning. It's just taking me a lot longer to get through stuff. I got 50 pages left in this book I'm reading now. No, Rob, I'm gonna stick to my PS5 for now. I don't the Switch, although From Software announced a very Bloodborne looking game, it's a multiplayer game. It's not enough to get me to buy a Switch. So I'll probably just sit it out for now. I need to do that too. I use my morning better. Yeah, no problem. Hmm. Uh man, I'm trying to figure this out. So Rob, pretty soon this will be finished and you'll see it at a show. This artwork happening. And that's Cirilla on the banner. Of course. I'm never gonna get that cat to come with me to shows, so she'll be there in spirit. Although I still want to put a tip jar with her picture on it. I mean, that the money will definitely go to the cat in one form or another. So, it's not a lie. $650. Yeah, and the games are gonna be like $90 a pop too for the Switch. I'm surprised because Nintendo is not usually um the company that raises their prices first. It's usually the other two, and then they just follow suit. At some point, they're usually the cheaper option when it comes to gaming. Not anymore. Nintendo's going to lead the charge on $100 games as a standard price, by the way. Well, 80, but what'll happen is Sony and Microsoft will raise theirs at some point, and that's what we'll have. We'll have $100 games, and I don't know what's going on here. A lot of notifications. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, man, I'm just jumping around because I want to make sure this looks top notch with the shadows. Which is funny because again, this is going to be it's still going to be dark down here. That's going to be a very reddish, it's going to be a dark reddish purple on the bottom. Actually, you should know to a certain degree, Rob, because it's, I shared at least the color sketch with on Patreon. I've not forgot about the other stuff. I still got to do. You picked up a paperback titled Horror Times 10, and it has a story Cool Air by Lovecraft. I don't think I've seen that story before. Didn't get to it yet. Oh, you haven't read Cool Air? Cool Air is a good story. The title Cool Air is the like least Lovecraftian name for a story, I think, in his entire series of work. I don't know why. Cool Air just does not sound like the minute I saw that story in one of my anthologies, I was like, that does not sound like a Lovecraft title. But yeah, it's a cool story. I like it. Um, I won't say much more than that, but I'd say you're in for a treat there. Mhm, probably. Oh, that's right. I can just tap it. Okay, that's good. I like tapping better. I want to put a lot of that in shadow, but I'm just afraid to get too dark. This is what happens when I'm doing like finished work. I overthink it. If I was just working in my sketchbook, I would have been throwing down so much black at this point. You know, somebody said it about the tainted ones. They were like, you drew it in a way where you're relying so heavily on the light areas to define the shapes and everything. It's like not the shadows. It's almost like he was almost saying like everything's in shadow. It's like those little bit of light areas is what defines everything and where you can actually see things happening. And I kind of like that. At least in theory, I do. Oh, okay. Got a good selection of people coming in and seeing this thing coming together. So the reason I'm inking this right now is because I got to do it in stages too. It's just the way I'm envisioning the different um colors and lighting and everything. It'll be easier for me. It's essentially all drawn out. I might change that throne over on the left of Chadiana there, opposite the coffin on the other side. But other than that, it's pretty well drawn out. But it's like this is going to be so dark and purple. Chadiana is going to be in regular colors, not too like distorted. And then again, it'll be less what do you call it? Less contrast in the background, even if I decide not to go at the all red and I throw a little blue in there. And I was getting so much, well, you can see still, I'm getting so much pencil on my hand that it made sense to just try to finish this and then I'll ink it as I go up and then I'll paint it in sections too. I don't know any other way to do it at this point. It's just it's too complicated. At least, I mean, it's not complicated in my head, but it's complicated keeping track of it while I'm working on it, which is what happens with my art a lot of times. This is what can slow me down is I start getting a really complex vision and then executing it isn't impossible, but keeping track of it all on the paper is like what really becomes the challenge in the end. Um, See, for my written stories, I have outlines that can help me with that. Um, and technically, the underdrawing should be what helps me with the artwork portion of it. But yeah, that ain't happening, obviously. So I'm just jumping around all over the place on this. And the whole piece is 20 by 30, which might be, once I finish it, the largest piece that I've ever finished. I feel like I would like to work larger, but I don't feel like I ever have the time to do it. And technically, I should be using like a bigger brush, but I'm just me and paying attention to all my details and everything. It's hard for me to give up that somewhat of precision on these pieces. The fact that I'm using this brush at all is a big step because, you know, um, I don't mind having some broader lines because I know that they're going to get thinner as it proceeds into the background. I might even use colored ink on the background elements. We're getting there slowly but surely. Of course, the eyes on the jack o' lantern are going to be glowing. So the jack o' lantern being in shadow should not be problematic uh, to that end. Trying to make sure the banner has a little bit of everything. Hmm. At least as far as is representative of me and my work. Do, do, do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Now, a lot of this is going to be done on acrylics, but I'm going to be using some new techniques with it to at least try to keep it looking watercolor like in a lot of spots. We shall see. Plus, a new medium that should help it water down a little bit more evenly as if it were watercolors. Am I really confident in using a new medium on a piece that needs to be done for promotion and grabbing people's attention? Yes. Yes, I am. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't work and I can fix it. Acrylics are more forgiving that way. Watercolors require a lot more work if I want to fix something. Just having a watercolor discussion with somebody recently. Again, a lot of people get intimidated by them. And I just always try to say, don't try to control them. Let them do their thing. If you're the type of person that wants to render crisp art or whatever, you know, you really gotta learn how to let watercolors do their thing before you can figure out a way to mitigate its inconsistencies to just achieve that kind of look, you know. That jack-o'-lantern needs more, but we're at a good we're starting off good with it. Okay. I don't know. I really need those this part and this part to be a little bit more in shadow. Mhm. I need to do more on the water section too. But, you know. Mm, mm. I guess part of the success of the watercolor is, I mean, the water is going to be how shiny it looks, not just how the shadows, not just how the shadows turn out, but the shininess of the actual water itself, right? Is the part that I'm trying to get to look more like its neighbors over there. Okay, there we go. Got to do more work on the other tentacle too. Um, I've been jumping around all afternoon on this thing from like one section of it to another. Obviously, that's why nothing is completely done. Working on the water, working on the tentacles, working on the background area. And this will all get done. And then I gotta paint it all. Oh, I just I love getting to be creative full time, but there's still moments where I just wish it didn't take as long as it did to do certain things for me because I just feel like can't get anything done fast enough. And I have more time nowadays. I definitely do. But part of me is putting more time and effort and attention into the work that I'm doing because of that extra time. And a lot of the time winds up getting used up on like business things or doing more conventions than I used to do. So, you know, the actual additional creative time is significant, but not groundbreaking compared to what I had when I was, say, teaching or working other jobs at the same time. Oh, my voice is getting picked up because sometimes I start talking too low. Let's see. Just looking at some of these. I already did my lesson today. All right. Where are we at? God, there's just so much going on down here. This was supposed to be like the simple part. Simple is not in my vocabulary. It does not seem. To do. Mm. I love it when I get stuck on these things. and start getting too uncertain about where the next line should be. Right. Mhm. Man, it's a lot of work down here. Okay. Mhm. This brush has had a lot of ink going through it. Okay. Gonna have to turn it a bit. I might bring it down a little bit. Okay, let's see. Uh, Just like fire and trees. I mean, there's a little bit more control you have to have with water, but there's a little bit of freedom with it. That's for sure. Mm. Mm. Mhm, mhm. All right. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Looks okay. Think. Yeah, well, that's gonna be a little bit more. Should be at least a little bit more in shadow. Mm. Over there. Okay. Mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. Mm. Gonna have to turn this a little bit more. Mm. Just for these pages here. One of the harder things about working this large for me is that I don't have the ability to actually turn the paper as much as I normally do. Because normally I'll flip things around or upside down or whatever just to get better angles on some things that I'm trying to do. Certain lines and such. But yeah, the size of this does not easily allow for all of that. Okay. I will, of course, later go back and put stuff on the pages, but for now, I am leaving it as is. All right. Right. Let's see. Yeah, that jack o' lantern needs a little bit more. I might have to sketch it in before I actually go in with the inks, but one thing at a time. Mhm. That looks like that is supposed to be there too. Get over on this side now. People might want to see the cat, so you know, figure raise it up a bit. Oh man, big task taking this one on. All to get people's attention at conventions. It's just been a while since I had a banner image. Might have said this on, I know I've told people this in person, but I just expanded the setup of my table so much over the past couple of years that my end also was like redoing some of the color scheme and look of everything, that basically my back banner became obsolete and I wasn't even using that kind of banner anymore. So, yeah. I used to actually be able to, I used to get people stopping and looking at the banner I had before, but everything's just been the prints behind me, and I don't want it to be quite like that. And some people who know me have trouble finding me at shows because they're not, there's no identifying other than the artwork that I'm selling and the, um, and the books and the comics and, just the content of what I have. There's no identifying feature of my table these days that people can find it from across the room as easily. So, this is a hmm, new attempt at just that. Excuse me. Bless you. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Is it possible I go in and do more with the ground? Maybe. Is it likely? I don't know. It might be done down there. I might have finally finished that area. Possibly the water too. Some of it is going to really depend on how it looks when the colors go down, and might have to add to it, but we'll see. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be just fine the way it is. Mhm. Uh, Oh, Lauren always finds me. You just want it. Yeah, well, it's not. Again, I've had friends tell me, like, vendor friends even, just like they couldn't find me on the show floor. And sometimes I've been pointing at my table and they can't see it from across the room. It doesn't seem to stand out enough. So I'm glad Lauren can find. I mean, people can find me. I think they gotta really look harder, and I'd rather it be a little bit easier. Which is why I said at the beginning of this, I gotta let the ego start taking over at the shows because I'm not really an attention getter, but um, when it comes to wanting to stand out at the shows, I need to be to a certain extent. So just, that's why I got like a 10-foot backdrop now instead of like a 7 foot. The next stage is to just make something that you can't miss. Mirror balls and lava lamps. Why do I not know what a mirror ball is? What I really feel like I would love to do is what um, Jason Rosen of who does oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking. Monsterwood does. He's got that like almost like ruins look. Um I'd like my table to look like a combination between castle ruins and a wizard's library, but making that happen is a little bit of a challenge. Okay. I think I don't know, but I might be done with the shadows down there for now. Again, things could change in the actual painting itself, but for now, I think it's looking pretty good. No, obviously, I want it to look a little bit like there's some ambient glow in the middle, not any particular light source. But then there's lights down here because I got the lantern, I got the jack o' lantern. Oh man, that's right. What was I gonna do here with him? I guess that does need to get a little darker. I probably could go a little further out with that, right? Just hope that's gonna look right. Let's just say, go a little darker. Awesome. Hopefully your phone call was good. I have made what feels like very little progress in your absence, Jack. Only because I feel like I'm moving so slow through this piece. This is what happens with me sometimes on a finished piece. Instead of just boldly putting down black, I will just slowly work my way out until the jack o' lantern winds up becoming like more than half black anyway. And it's like, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Don't know. Like making my life harder, I guess. I don't know. Take longer to finish things. funny. I can see the comments come up out of the corner of my eye on the the which is right in front of my face, but you can't see them because of all that crap that they have on there. What does it say? Oh, fair first. It's funny. You mentioned that, Jack. I keep saying that I should put my old computer animations and other like traditional animations on YouTube. I mean, I don't feel like they're anything special because, I did them in college. They were serviceable. But I just feel it'd be a neat little extra thing to put out there. Okay. I think um I think I'm done with this part of it. This bottom part, at least for the now. Mhm. I don't know. Battery on my PC is running low. That won't do any good. Won't be able to read comments anymore. Mm, good. We're back. Oh, so what next now? So many options. Mm, Oh my god. It's because of the tripod leg. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I still gotta fix that dragon. I don't like the way he looks. I gotta figure out where his legs are supposed to be. Oh wait, there's a little bit more to put on the headstones. Oopsie. Trying to make my Instagram, TikTok is about my shop and YouTube about my animations, but I think I'm starting vlogs for YouTube too. You could do vlogs. I think it's worth putting some of your animations, at least clips of them, on TikTok. I should really start using TikTok more, especially for my writing stuff, because there's that whole book talk thing. I don't know. I really was never planning on getting involved in TikTok, and in the last couple of years, I think I opened the account and I have maybe 10 videos up on it. It just feels like something. Well, I definitely should put more time into it, but it just, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to create that much video content. You know, not like Lily Singers. Shit. No hate, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm not that type of creator. Oh, you have a great night too, Rob. You have zero long format. Oh yeah. Well, I just mean you can turn it into a you could break it up and turn it into like a short, like part of it into a short, and then, link it out to your YouTube. I've thought about doing that too, for some longer form stuff. I mean, I could do it with these live streams too, but ask me if I want to do that. No, I don't. So I get it. I get it. Like everybody else, I'm great at giving advice, not taking it. You know? Actually, I don't really like giving advice. I feel like it's not always well received. It's not always well given, even well meaning advice. What do we got? I saw another one came up. You'll see at a show. Yeah, look for Jack Designs, Rob. Um, Look her up on Instagram, Jack Designs. You'll see her stuff. You probably have walked by her booth at certain shows, like if you went to NJ Horror or anything. Got great stuff. I have a few pins and stickers and a keychain from Jack. Well, that's the funny thing, Jack, because I overthink too, which is why it's easier for me to give it, like, tell people advice because then, you know, it's almost like, well, if I was not overthinking, this is what I would do. It's just so hard to do it myself. Also, I don't want to brag. I just have way too many ideas. If all I was doing was just working on one book series or just wanted to illustrate for other people or just wanted to work on comics or just wanted to do games, my life would be so easy. As a creator, it would be easy, I should say. Not the case. All right. All right. Now the question is, well, you know what? Let's get a little experimental here. Ugh, not everyone's favorite thing, but I like doing it. Let's see. Would gray be okay on that? I guess. Kind of worried that it's not going to be the best choice, but feel like I need a outline on this that is going to be bigger than whatever's behind it. Agreed. What is that? Is that an owl? I think so. I don't think I've seen that emoji before. It's like a pink owl, it looks like. Well, purple. Purple, pink, bluish. You're not sure are all these emojis are new to you? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it's not. It's like some thing with like eyes and I don't know, a hand in front of its face. And I don't mean the other one you just posted. I mean the purple one. That's weird. I've never seen that either. It must be like a YouTube thing. YouTube has its own emojis. I know if I had like a subscriber, like if I had like a paid membership on my channel, you can apparently make emojis for people, but I don't know. I've never had aspirations to be a YouTuber specifically, um, which is funny because I watch a lot of YouTube or listen to it while I work. right? I think that's right. I'm going to go a little bit more on this one. Oh, yeah, good. Mm. Some of them look like monsters, but not. What? Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't even remember when was YouTube made? I didn't start I know I've had an account for a while, but I just have always like watched videos on it. I don't think I started posting anything to my channel until 2023 when I started doing the live streams. I think it was mid 2023. I think so. Ugh. But that's cool that you got one with 11,000 views. Something. Mm. Oh, that makes sense. I only have some of my like uh my playlists privated, but I try to keep most of it public. But I can understand on your end why that would be. I was kind of like well, yeah, it's like I wasn't using YouTube for any kind of creative outlet. So it would have been very beneficial if it was it's what I graduated college in 2005. I don't know if it existed or it was too new. I know for a while I thought about uploading my videos on YouTube, but I just start with the shoulder JM. Why not? Am I not allowed to? I'm actually standing while I'm doing this part too. Oh wait, you can't even really see that because I don't have the camera up as much. Better. Much, 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 much better. I wasn't actually going to do this in this brush, but we're already here. We're committed. I still got to do all that molding paste in the background and everything. Wait a second. Okay. Oh, you liked the idea, but your mom was hesitant about you being on the computer. That totally makes sense. Um, I think that's true about a lot of parents when their kids are young. She used to point at every man's thumbnail and yell at me, "Why can he see us?" Oh, that's funny. Uh, For my camera, I'm just using my phone. It's one of those Samsung phones. I can't think. Uh, Galaxy 10, 11, 14. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I should. I should know. I just know I don't have an iPhone, obviously. It's a Galaxy. The camera's pretty good on it, though. And then, I just gotta sort of make sure the lighting is okay in here, although I can't figure out how to light things properly in the studio for these shows. Oh, man. This is so. I haven't outlined like this in a while. Yeah, I bought a selfie tripod, so it's like an extendable one. Um, and that is what I use for it. Hmm, a lot of people liking this video tonight. That's good. Yeah, so it was, yeah, like I said, selfie stick slash tripod. Um, it's kind of wonky though, because if I tap it on the legs, it'll do that. But it serves its purpose. I used to use this, hang on, swing arm there, but that was becoming a little bit hard to manage all the angles I wanted to get. So, yeah. Mm, I'm afraid I'm going to mess this up. I should just sit back down. Okay, man. I have one that's clamped to my desk. Yeah, so that's it. The arm one is clamped to the desk, but I keep it there because it's got that ring light on it. So, it serves some purpose. And thanks. I appreciate you saying I got this. Uh, I gotta have more faith in what I'm doing sometimes, anyway. Okay. Um, yeah. Let's see. I forgot to finish those. Hmm. I had planned to put more thorns on this. Obviously, I did not. So that should be done some capacity on this. Right, that's gonna be, well, I gotta figure that out later. Mhm. I don't know how I forgot to do that. Well, I know how I did. The way I jump around all the time. I just won't finish a section before I move on to another one. And then I have this whole area that's just like where this thing I was going to do that isn't finished. Kind of like my projects. I get it. A lot like my projects. Okay. Let's see. Put one there. Put one over there. 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 Yeah, people are really liking this video. It's a popular one. At least on Facebook. I don't know how many I'm getting on YouTube, but there's 15 likes on Facebook, which is unusually high for a live. I feel like I should do this with a much thinner brush, or at least smaller one, or a micron. And I'm just throwing caution to the wind right now and doing this. I don't mind. Ugh. I wish doing art didn't require so much of my shoulder and back muscles because then I could just do this like for endless amounts of hours rather than like starting to get that pinch in my back. You other artists know the one. But I've been at this, well, I've lost count. I know it's been a lot of hours today, but I feel like I've been making good progress here. Mm. See, this is where I would want to turn the paper so that I could just get a straight line because I'm much better at doing straight lines across. Uh, oh, when the service plans are up, I'm just going to stream to YouTube. But I'm already thinking I want to go down to like once a month because if I'm doing whatnot, um, gonna bring this down a little bit. You probably hear me better too. If I'm doing whatnot once a week and that one's actually making me money, and I hate to say that, but originally doing live streams were a attempt to make money. I'm not going to stop doing whatnot every week, but I feel like I need to get some time back in my life. So maybe I might go down to once a month, but that might even happen before the streaming service is over. It'll just be directly to YouTube and said, I don't remember what the Me Too is for. You're currently back massager, Jesus. What? Yeah. I would love to have one. I sort of had one and I burned it out. So I also, although I haven't used it in a couple of weeks, I have been using a back brace for a couple hours a day. Not while I'm drawing, but like I get up and I move around some during the day too to try to get the blood flowing and not be completely sedentary. So, I'll put the back brace on just to try to like help strengthen and straighten my back because I used to have really good posture. It's had drawing and writing and gaming and reading. It's all had its effect, you know. So, fair point on streaming. Yeah, it's just, I'm doing 2 streams a week, and I also do the shows all every weekend. It recently came to my attention that while my social life is good because of shows, it's also completely a work-related social life at the moment, and I kinda just need time to go out and touch grass or whatever. So, we'll see. It depends. I'm just doing like I've been part of it is Jack. I've been trying out so many different things, like between different products at conventions, things like the streams, whatnot. Like everything is just a test to see what will be the thing that helps boost my career the most. And I'm trying not to leave any stone unturned. But, when you're doing a lot of different things, suddenly you're not doing just one thing and it piles up. Samesies. Yeah, makes sense. I just go out and get a cup of coffee or something. And don't get me wrong, I love creating. I love creating to the point where I could easily do it and forget that, there's a whole world out there, which is what I don't want to wind up happening. I don't want to just like wind up forgetting that, there's other stuff out there. I mean, I haven't been entirely, but I've just been very career focused the past couple of years. Okay. Go, 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 go. Did I mess that up? No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Mm, mm. My God. Like I always say, I can't make my job simple on artwork. I gotta always have things tangling and crossing into each other and over each other, and chains and chainmail and uh, different light sources. I don't know. That's how long it takes me to do everything. I should just change my whole business plan. I should do like one art piece a year and just try to sell that for like $250,000. Just one a year. And I'll make it like super fancy and detailed. And that'll be it. I don't think I'd be happy doing that, but I'm just throwing it out there as like a dumb idea in the moment. Hmm. I'm I've been making changes to mine. I still like I was just talking to a friend today about it. I got my start in comics kind of by accident. I Comics were not my first love. They're not what I wanted to spend all my time doing. I wanted to write novels and um, illustrate them and work on video games and all kinds of stuff. And comics were just like I had a couple of graphic novel ideas, and it just seemed cool. And I liked the idea of storytelling with my art and writing anyway. But you know, and I still want to do my comics. I mean, Chadiana, the character that I'm working on in the piece right now, I'm going to keep her as a comic, but um, I also, I don't know, Cyril, I don't know if you're going to be able to come over here. I also have other career aspirations. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. So, yeah, I've been trying to like expand into other things besides just concentrating on, you know, and still like the books and comics are the focus, but I've been trying to figure out new merchandise ideas, other types of art I can do. I've actually been trying very lately to break into gaming as well, even if it's not video gaming, doing like the tabletop RPG stuff. So I feel like the business plan is evolving a bit. And I'm just trying to find those other products I can sell besides just books and comics because, to be fair, I still sell, if you take, and I always say this, if you take each individual design of art I have or product with my art on it against each one of my comics or novels, with the exception of a couple of uh, uh, titles, like maybe my art book or whatever, the books and comics outsell all the art, you know, if you take it individually. I still sell a lot more art than I do books, but individually, each design, I only sell so much because of how many different designs I have. The books, title to title, design still sell. That's always going to be the core of my business model. It's what I love the most, but it's not always what makes me the most money. The markup on a book or a comic is still it's better on a book than a comic, but it's still not great compared to prints or other. Yeah, well, that's just it. I have a game actually also when I was in college, I took a game design course and I had a tabletop game that was very D&D like. Um it was based on some other D&D like board games and video games I was playing at the time. The whole system was play tested too, so it's not like it doesn't work. And I was very good with the design. So between that and I might finally be getting some freelance work out of that industry as well, like, yeah, it would be good to start doing more of that stuff. And honestly, like, there was a period of time where Chadiana, I was developing, I had a guy that was willing to develop a mobile game for her, like a phone game. And he just kind of like disappeared on me at one point, but it was pretty well into development. And I actually had two concepts. So putting Chadiana into a game scenario has always been a goal. Well, so, it all still fits within the same, uh, you know, within the areas that I want to work in. And it still keeps to my dark fantasy and horror stuff. I just want to expand into other industries. Um, I think you could also sell, like, character kits. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That's not a bad idea either. But as I was telling my friend today when I was talking about all the things I wanna try, and it goes back to, like, I've been working on this piece for weeks, and I've been working on other things too. But that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is time. It's the time I take to, create anything I create, and it's also, just there's only so many hours in the day. Um, and that's where it becomes hard. It becomes hard to get everything developed when, you know, there's only so many hours I can physically um, dedicate to creating without letting the business fall apart as a whole. And then there's only so many hours in the day that I probably should dedicate to creating because, again, as I was just saying, it's good to have a little bit of a life outside of it too. So it's a hard balance, right? Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely know. Like I said, I know you've been working out more, which is something that I've been trying to do for a while because, yeah, like, this lifestyle jacket, it can, um, it has its negative health effects just sitting all day. So, and I still wouldn't trade. I don't want it to sound at all like I'm complaining because I am very happy in this. And I make sure to every once in a while check in with myself and make sure that I remember how grateful I am that I'm doing this full time since it's what I've always wanted to do. But yeah, you know, no job, no situation is ever perfect. Ah, oh, oof. Yeah, wow. I'm so surprised how many people are liking this. It is a lot of people do like my ings. Uh, uh, what is this? I don't even know what that is. NJRF. Oh, Ren Fair. Oh, okay. That's okay. I have other shows going on. I was not accepted into NJ Ren Fair. It's okay. All right, wait before I do this. Mhm. Yeah. That was something I still needed to work out, which I haven't yet. Mhm. Ooh, okay. Yeah, 3. I mean, Trenton went well for me, and, of course, Monster Mania, and then the Grimoire Studios event I did in Connecticut was even better than the one I did in December. It just was so good. Gonna move that slightly. Okay. Mhm. Um, I don't know if anything's been surprisingly good though, because I feel like most of my good events, I'm starting to narrow down what I know is good. I've had some surprisingly bad ones, but I would say the Grimoire Studio one was surprisingly good just because it was like way above expectations. It turned out to be my best show ever. And it was only a 4-hour event. And I'm disappointed I can't do more of them this year because I didn't know they were going to put out so many dates. They had one in Connecticut last year and none in Massachusetts, as far as I remember. And now this year they're doing a bunch in Connecticut and Massachusetts. I will be at their um, the August one, which they're doing in Delaware. But yeah, like Cirque de Creep out in Beacon, New York, that was when I just kind of pulled out of a hat Grimoire Studios, and it turned out to be the right kind of market for me. Not all of them do. You missed the name of Grimoire Studios, I think. Am I going back to Haunted Happenings? As long as they accept me, I haven't. I mean, I put in the application the minute they put them out, so we'll see if I get in this year. It's never a guarantee because last year I didn't get in, and then last minute I got somebody dropped out, so I got their spot. I did Derby Square and the Commons, and you have to pay the application fee for each area you want to vend in too. Yeah, they did do an application fee. It was like $10 per application. I didn't mind paying the $10. It's not that big of a fee. Not that I'm saying this to encourage places to do this. I guess I just figure that for them, they probably get so many applicants. It probably does help mitigate a certain amount of applications that then they won't have to go through the process of looking through and rejecting or whatever. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? But I get why they would do it. But the only thing is I don't have that many dates available because a lot of places open their applications so early that by the time Haunted Happenings did, and even though they did theirs really early this year, I only had 1.5 weekends available in October to do. So I hope that doesn't hurt my chances, but I guess it could. I have to switch to this side. I can't see what I'm doing from the other side. Okay, I'm going to answer both those questions. Yeah, it is a collective. It's the Creative Commons, I think, in Massachusetts. Well, I don't know if they're based out of Salem. I think they are. That's who runs the market. And actually, a lot of times they give you a discount on joining them. They say that if you join them, it doesn't help or hurt your chances of getting into the market. But I've heard people say both things. Obviously, I'm not a member. When I go, if I get in, it'll be potentially the Sunday after Dark Side New Jersey, which is what, the 19th of October. And then the only other weekend would be the last full weekend, because I guess I could do the Sunday after the what would be the Sunday of New York Comic Con. I didn't even apply to New York Comic Con. The first time since 2010 or 2009 even that I haven't applied to it. But I had another event that was like a witchcraft spooky event in October, and they'll get 4,000 people. I don't have to worry about not getting into the show, because New York Comic Con, I did it for 8 years straight, and then I haven't been able to get in since. I always tell the story that I took a year off, but I don't think that directly hurt me. I think it hurt me in the sense that, like, when there were turnovers at Reed Pop, I suddenly was like an unknown to a lot of the people there. So it is what it is. I applied for both. I was in Artist Alley for a while, and then the one year I couldn't get an Artist Alley table, so I got a vendor table. And then I kept re-upping that one, but sometimes I'd still put in for the artist table just in case. But yeah, this year I tried to, or last year I tried to apply to both, and they had me for the vendor table go through this whole thing of like showing them my merchandise and my booth setup and everything, and then they rejected me anyway. So I was just like, I think I've had enough. I mean, they're a business. I can't speak to why they, and I know people that are like big names that are having trouble getting into the event. So I don't know exactly what their, you know, reasons for accepting or rejecting people are, but I can definitely say that for me, from my standpoint, um, constantly getting rejected by a show that I did faithfully for years. Like, I was very dedicated to that show. So much so that when I was getting my teaching job, I told them that that was the one time a year I would have to take off school days to do a show. So, to keep getting rejected from it, it's not like great for my mental health. I just, I've kind of gotten tired of playing that game with them. It's very expensive, and it's only gotten more expensive as time's gone on, you know? I think when I was first doing it, an artist table was only in the 300 range. Maybe it was hitting 400, and a booth wasn't even $1,000. Now, you know, at a booth on the show floor is like more than my rent for the month, you know? And I hear all different stories now from people that do it. Some people say they can't make the kind of money that they used to be able to make. It's just too competitive. Other people say it's like a fantastic show still. So, there's that part to consider too. What I do know is it's an absolute nightmare to do. I mean, in the sense of there's nothing convenient, easy, relaxing, comfortable. You just work really hard. The Javits Center isn't always the easiest to get in and out of. There was a time where they did make it easier, but now it's like very hard to get in and out of it with your stuff, so there's those considerations too. And again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm knocking Reed Pop for this, because I'm really not. It's just what that show's become. It's so big and so crazy, and that's why I had taken a year off. I was getting a little burnt out with shows in general, but that one especially was, even then, so much work. It was just like I need to just like kind of refocus for a minute, because I was afraid 2018 I was starting to get burnt out from shows, and I was afraid I was the one of those guys, and I've met many of them, who just seem really cantankerous and like they don't want to be at the show. And I always used to think, well, then don't do shows. So I took my own advice that year. Oh, you're not. Oh, you always attend it. Yeah, I did it from 2010 to 2018 as a. I only attended it once. Um, because the one time that I tried to attend it some years before was the year that the fire marshal shut the building down because it got oversold and overcrowded. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we were standing online to get tickets. I forget what year that was. Probably 2005, 2004, 2005, something like that. So yeah. And I've seen comment sections and message boards that for some of the fans that show's become a lot to do too. Like, not everybody can afford to even attend anymore. Not everybody can stand the crowds. They'd rather go to smaller shows. And again, it's good to have big shows like that. I'm not dismissing it. I don't want to come off like whatever. It's just. I guess there was one point in my career where it felt like New York Comic Con was all there was. I felt like they were just small shows. I'd have to travel for a show, or I could do New York Comic Con. I didn't feel like there were a lot of options. So why is that blinking? Oh, the cat's on the keyboard. Sorella. Oh. Oh yeah. Well, some people get kind of weird. especially if they think that they are entitled to something at a show. Um, Actually, I'm coming to the end of this stream, but I'll tell a quick story because it's in every way good PR for this person. Um, so I was trying to get into the show one day. I think it was one of the last years I did it. So it was 2016 or 2017, and Mike Richardson of Dark Horse Comics was right in front of me, the guy that owns it, and they were not letting people in. You know, like nobody. It didn't matter if you were a vendor or whatever. Oops. And he got stopped by somebody right at the front. And they were like, I'm sorry, you can't go in, you know. And he was like, but I got to get to my booth. And they were like, we're sorry, you can go down like to the other entrance and they're slowly letting people in over there, but you can't come in here, blah, 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 blah. And to his credit, he did not start becoming like a prima donna. He wasn't like, oh, do you know who I am? Like, blah, blah, blah. No, he just like hawked it down the street to the other entrance. And I was like really impressed because it was like one of those moments where I could have like understood if he totally went off on this person for not letting him in the door, considering, he's the owner of one of the major publishers that's like in the hall. But no, he didn't, He just let the person do their job, even though it didn't make any sense, and went down. So I thought that was kind of nice because I'm a big Dark Horse comic fan, and I always knew from even meeting him, Mike Richardson seemed like a really nice guy. But that was the moment where I was like, yeah, you know what? He is pretty decent. Not gonna lie. He didn't get all high and mighty on this little worker outside the convention. So, not that he needed it from me, but he earned some extra brownie points with me that day. Just for acting like a human being. All right. So it's 10. It's usually when I end these things. It's moving along nice. Yeah, it definitely is. And it definitely is when it's somebody that you like appreciate their work and who they are and stuff like that, that they're not just a complete jerk, All right, everyone. I am going to be saying goodnight. I'll be back next week, or you can catch me on Whatnot tomorrow. 6:00 Eastern at JMD Rightist on Whatnot. I'll be taking commissions and stuff and selling all kinds of things. Otherwise, come see me. Francisco Family Farms, Matawan, New Jersey on Saturday, 1 to 9, or next week at Super Jersey Comic Fest Expo something. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with these names. In Jackson Township, Saturday, Sunday, next weekend. And then I'll be traveling again in, what is that? May? Yeah, I'm mostly out of state in May. I'll be back in New Jersey in June again. I'm flip-flopping back and forth every month, it seems like. Try to catch the Whatnot, if you can. It'll be good. I can talk to you and tell you things as I'm doing it too, to help you with your setup as well. Anyway, have a great night, everyone. Where am I going? Trying to find the music for the outro. Okay. Right. Yeah. Have a good night. Take care. See you next week. So that's going to be it. Good night.